This is The Hub on Vital MX, where we recap all of the news from the last 7 days, just in case you missed an announcement or two. The headline news this week is the fact that Team USA has finally been named. Chase Sexton, Chance Imus and Aaron Plessinger will head to Matterley Basin in the UK to represent their country and hopefully bring the Chamberlain Trophy back to the United States for the first time since 2022. It's a great team. Chase Sexton is of course deserving of his spot, and Aaron Plessinger has proven himself to be the second best American in 2024 AMA Pro Motocross. Chance Imus has shown unbelievable speed at points as well. Of course, Haiden Deegan would have been the ideal pick for the MX2 spot, but Chance Imus is a worthy replacement and certainly capable of getting the job done. The fact that Haiden Deegan is missing from Team USA has spurred debate online, and he has released the following statement to try and silence some of those murmurs. I wanted to get the record straight. I have hardware in my wrist that needs to be taken out after SMX and will have to heal, so the team has made the decision to not let me attend the MXON to make sure that I can make pre-season training this year on time to give me the best chance at a Supercross title. So do not get it confused, I'm a racer and wanted to race. It seems as though Monster Energy Yamaha Star Racing will be taking the brunt of the aggression from fans there, as Deegan kind of puts the blame on their shoulders, but it's understandable that they want to place focus on Anaheim 1, which really is not that far away in the grand scheme of things. In more Motocross of Nations news, Team Switzerland only just named their shortlist for the Motocross of Nations. Jeremy Sewer and Valentin Guillot will certainly fill the 450 slots. The MX2 slot will go to either Arno Tonus, Kevin Bruman or Nico Groitman. I would expect an announcement on that sooner rather than later, because they left it rather late to announce a shortlist for the event. Moving away from the Motocross of Nations now, the PMG team for the FIM World Supercross team has been announced. Ken Roczen and Colt Nichols will race 450s for those guys. Ken Roczen, of course, returning for his third season aboard a Suzuki in WSX, and he is the defending champion once more. The 250 riders for PMG have not been announced yet. There are rumours that Kyle Chisholm could be one of them, but aside from that, there's not much out there. Speaking of Roczen, he took to social media after Ironman to explain that he is dealing with health issues once again. He said, I'm having some difficulties with my energy system at the moment, and I knew that going into last weekend, but by no means did I want to pull out and sit on the couch. It's nothing I haven't dealt with before, and I will get it under control. I did not feel too hot even going into Unadilla, but luckily I could manage as it was not hot there. I have already started working on myself as we know how and what to do, and I am confident it's all uphill from here. Roczen does not have too much time to rest, of course, as SMX is right around the corner, then it's the Motocross of Nations, then it's WSX. Ken Roczen will almost be a full-time racer until we get to the end of 2025 Monster Energy Supercross, believe it or not. Speaking of SMX, Cameron McAdoo will return for the first playoff with his Monster Energy Pro Circuit Kawasaki team. McAdoo will be in the LCQ, which will add an interesting element to the playoffs. Of course, he has been missing for the entire summer with a shoulder injury. McAdoo ended up being seeded in 23rd in the 250 SMX points, quite away from the cutoff, so it was never really realistic that he was going to make it straight into the main event. But McAdoo adds another fascinating layer to the finals of the SuperMotocross World Championship. Levi Kitchen, his teammate at Kawasaki, withdrew from the second moto at Ironman with a twisted knee. He said, I twisted my knee pretty bad and was stuck under the bike for a long time. Resting now and I'll be all good for SMX. It seems like this weekend off is coming at a perfect time for so many of our SMX contenders. Just a little note on the SMX standings, there was no real change as far as the seeded positions at the final round of 2024 AMA Pro Motocross. Nate Thrasher maintained 20th in 250 SMX, and Kyle Chisholm held on to the same position in 450 SMX by the skin of his teeth. Dean Wilson missed out on a guaranteed spot in the main events by just 5 measly points. There is not so much going on this weekend, as we have a weekend off in America, and the MXGP series has a weekend off as well. There is some national championship action. Jeffrey Hurlings will be racing in the ACU British Championship, the penultimate round of that series, which he leads. That race will be held at Schoolhouse in Northern England, so that'll be worth some attention. And then there are other smaller races going on as well, so we will be sure to keep you informed as to what happens there. And we'll be back in 7 days' time as we gear up for another weekend of non-stop action. Thank you for watching and listening, and we will see you next week.